What is more blasphemous to us nerds? Talking about how the Vulcans use the Force? Or putting a Marvel and a DC character together like Batman and Venom? Now, I don't think this is as blasphemous as a lot of people are going to say, because it's 2023. Some of the shit I hear that tries to pass nowadays, mixing Batman and Venom are the least of the problems in the world. As the Extreme channel is pushing towards 50,000 subscribers, these are just a few of the statues we're giving away on the journey there. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey, welcome to the Extreme channel. Extremely excited about this collectible. My name is Mr. X. I'm all about extreme collectibles, and we have a faux pas, a crime against nature, a crime against Bruce Wayne, a crime against Eddie Brock, but we have Venom and Batman mixed together in this private unlicensed commission. So very cool piece, and you may be able to see the really cool part of it other than the obvious. Watch as it spins around. Or it's possible you're a follower of my social media, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. There's a link for that in the description below. I posted a picture a while back when I got this in, which was actually today, so I don't know how time travel works, but there's a really cool number of Easter eggs in this exciting statue. So I collected this because I'm a big Venom collector. I have a ton of Batman statues as well, and I thought, you know what, let's merge these two characters together. So this is called Venomized Batman, which in my opinion is kind of an even bigger faux pas, because to me, Venom is Eddie Brock and the Symbiote. So this is more aptly named the Symbioted Batman, but that just doesn't sound as cool. Anyway, we're going to do a review on this quarter scale custom piece, and I am so glad I have it. The only thing I don't like about this, did you see it right there? The only thing I don't like about this is the fact, I don't know where to put it because I really like my collections together. You see all X-Men behind me? It's like, well shit, does this go with DC pieces? Does this go with Venom pieces? I think it's going to be the latter. We'll find that out later. Now let's review this guy, starting with the concept. Now this is a really interesting concept because, as I just alluded to, one of the many Easter eggs in this thing is what makes this concept amazing. So we're going to do a little different format today to talk about that, but let's dive in. The basics are, it is Batman who is standing on a perch, which is so funny because Batman statues always seem to be at the top of a building with a gargoyle down below it. In this case, it's a bat. There's some Easter eggs we're going to talk about on the back in a second. And he has been venomized. So the symbiote that caused the whole Key in Black event has actually moved over into DC, taken over Bruce Wayne, and it's hard to tell what is actually Bruce Wayne, what is Batman's outfit, and what is the symbiote, because they're all melded together. And it looks absolutely badass just looking at it straight on. But the really cool part is, as you're seeing in the pictures here, if you look at it at the right angle, it's actually Venom's face in the cape, or symbiote, or whatever you want to say. And you can see it from different sides. It is so freaking cool that they did that. One of the coolest Easter eggs I've ever seen. But wait, there's more. On the back, there's a picture of Joker. So it's a Joker statue, and that is also being symbioted or venomized. And the symbiote is a different color. It's the traditional Joker colors. And then they have ha 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 written in the symbiote. So just such a crazy artistic take on this. I absolutely love it. Looking at it, you don't really know that the cape or symbiote or whatever it is forms anything until you get that certain angle, like right there. Kind of hard to tell with my black background. But either way, looks absolutely fantastic. I love it. 5 out of 5 without a doubt on the concept. I would say this is arguably going to be one of the best concepts of 2023, if not the best. Design. When you're going to create something crazy like this, it's pretty elaborate. So it's going to have some flaws that we're going to talk about after the unboxing and assembly. 2 very large boxes that arrived 5 days apart because UPS is lazy. Wait till I have to deliver the 17 boxes that are due in a few days. Yeah, I wasn't kidding about that. But here's the art box right here. Both boxes had an art box. Now, the first box was 2 layers, and it was just the cape, or the symbiote, however you want to say it. 2 pieces for the side, 1 for the back. The second box was 1 layer with the remaining pieces. All right, so I'm going to measure him first before I forget. The widest part of the base is about 16 inches, give or take. The deepest part of the base, up to the bat at the front, is 18 inches. However, as you can see, the cape makes it stick out to about 27 inches or so. Then the widest part of the cape is a good 26 inches. And then Batman, now this is quarter scale. A real-life version would be 4 times taller. This is about 30.5 inches, maybe 31 inches. So he takes up a lot of room for a quarter scale piece. What you see is what you get. There are no other switch outs. However, you could have got him without the cape. We'll talk more about that in value. Now, the head was a separate piece, as you saw, but really there's not a seam line. Check out right here. That's pretty cool. However, where the cape fits together in the back, there are a lot of seam lines. I think that's a big negative because you may display him from the side, which we're going to talk about in a second. Now, I know some people are thinking, hey, that's in the back, you're not going to display the back. Well, then why put such a cool freaking Easter egg in the back if you don't want to see the back? So let's talk about displayability. This is going to be a bitch to display. Obviously, looking at it front, it looks fantastic. It looks great. This is probably the easiest way to display it. Have these tendrils, this cape hanging over the edge of a shelf like the ones behind me. But I want to see this awesome part too. But then he'd be sideways on a shelf, and none of my other statues are really sideways. And he'd be taking up all that space. I say it all the time on the channel, the enemies of Collector are spaces, boxes, and those damn significant others. So the displayability is a little bit of a negative in my opinion. The engineering behind this was pretty smart. The capes were not that heavy at all. Batman pegs down both a key and a peg. The bat that went in, this holds the stability frontwards. It's not leaning frontwards at all, but this will stop that from happening. So a lot of props to them regarding the design. So I think overall it's a 4 out of 5. The negatives are the fact that it's going to be hard to display and the seam lines in the back. Now, we're going to jump into paint and sculpt. This is a really, really weird one for me. Certain parts of it I think are very awesome, and then a few parts, I don't want to say amateurish, because it's better than that, but it's just okay. Here's some video. Let's start with the base down here, and, you know, we talked about all the Easter eggs earlier. This is more about the paint and sculpt, but it almost looks like they couldn't decide what they wanted to do. Let's do stone, let's do brick, let's do it all. So the stone, it's not protruding enough. There's not enough depth in the grout lines. So I wish they would have just stuck with stone. While I do appreciate the color that it added, I think the color they added with the graffiti and then also the Joker statue getting venomized is enough. And there's a little bit of gloss on it too because it is Symbiote for Joker. And you can even see he wrote ha 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 in here. Again, that Easter egg up close, pretty cool. But I like the texture of the stone. I like that it's a lighter color. Really helps contrast the rest of the statue back here. Now the front is a much darker color. So see that contrast there? That's not the lighting. That is actually the difference where it really gives that Dark Knight vibe. A lot more smooth stone because it's not broken other than a few places right here. And they added kind of this purple tint to it. You can kind of see it at certain angles here. But it is broken down at the front, few cracks on the wing of this bat. So I like the stone a lot. I wouldn't say I love it, but I definitely say it's better than average. But of course, we're not here for the base. We're here for the fantastic Batman. Now, what I really liked is how they contrasted the gloss and the matte. So that is all over the cape or wings, however you want to say it, both on the inside and the outside. You can see it here. And then, you know, as a side note, like these are the teeth of Venom. It still looks fantastic as just like tendrils coming off in that very Venomized feel. Then here's the outside. Again, you can kind of see the symbiote pieces meshing together. A little bit of definition, you know, you don't know if this is the symbiote or his cape or a mix of both. And that's what I really like. You can see the shine body below it, but it can really be in any type of shape it wants to be. You can kind of see Venom's head there. So really the focus was when they were sculpting it is, hey, can I get some type of view that lets me see the cape as we talked about to show Venom's face, and then just do whatever you want. But I think the flow is pretty good. You can see his arm with the traditional arm spikes here. And same with the other piece. I think they did a really nice job with the anatomy. While a lot of it is covered up with Symbiote, you can still see good definition in Batman from his abdominals down to his quads. The contrast is really good. Mrs. X liked that too as we took it out. And then the contrast of the shine in the matte. And then there's some shine, kind of hard to tell, but there is some shine on the broken Venomized bat symbol on the front. You have a little bit of contrast on the portrait we'll look at. Here's where it's all tearing together. We talked about the issues with the seams. However, I'm not as bothered by that, because we're not going to see that, just like we're not going to see the Joker. And here's his portrait. I really like this. I would have liked a little bit more gloss. I would have liked a little bit more blood around the teeth. I don't like the red color they chose for the gums. I would have liked more of a deeper red with maybe that gloss on it. And then the teeth, if you feel them, you can feel the sculpt, but they don't look it. They look like it's just painted. So maybe if his mouth was open, so it's maybe not necessarily the paint and sculpt, just choice of art direction. So I think the mouth could have been better. Like the eyes, then the bat ears. So really, it's so weird to try and say, did they do a good job sculpting this Venomized Batman or symbioted Batman? I don't know, because one's never been done before and probably never will be done again. So let's take a look at the scores. Let's start with the sculpt. I think the sculpt is awesome. More of my issues were some of the paint stuff we talked about. I think it's a 5 out of 5 on the sculpt. If I want a Venomized Batman, this would definitely be how it is. Paint, I really like that gloss. I really like the contrast. Maybe I'll have Mrs. X repaint the mouth. That's really my biggest issue, other than some of the brick stuff we talked about back here. But I think overall, because of the contrasting, it's still a 4 out of 5 on the paint. And I gotta tell you guys, the more I look at this, the more I think I'm so happy I got this in. All right, so they made 50 of these. 45 are like the one I have. Then the other 5 are the ones without the cape. Here's a picture I found online. I don't know whose this is. Well, I think that could be cool, especially it takes care of some of the displayability issues. This is definitely the way to go for me. I absolutely love that. 50 of these in the world. They're probably never making another one. Price on this was $1,200. Shipping was quite a bit as well. You saw the huge boxes. So you're over $1,500 in for a quarter scale statue. Now, first of all, it's a very, very unique quarter scale statue. And arguably, it blends 2 of the most done characters within the statue form together. Venom and Batman. There's tons of them out there. So I could see a large desire for this. I think it'll be a small segment of an audience, but a lot of people would really, really like this, especially if you love those 2 characters. I think I could get my money back, but that's it. So I think this is a 3 out of 5 on value. 3 is not a bad score, but this really just rubs people the wrong way mixing characters sometimes. Now, does this have the X factor? Is this a 5 out of 5 statue? Without a doubt this is. I really like it. Look at that. I should keep it on a turntable so I can just keep looking at the different parts of it. That is so cool. We're going to see what he looks like up there with the other Venom statues for now. And throw down in the comments below. Is this blasphemous to do it? Do you like it? Is it stupid? Every single comment. I love to interact with you guys. Plus, you could actually win a statue with that comment. We will be giving all of these statues away, plus additional ones at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. To win one of these statues, all you have to do is make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, you've hit that bell notification, and then just drop a comment below. Every 5,000 subscriber milestone, we are going to do a random drawing and pick a random comment and give one of these statues away, plus some additional ones I'm not showing right now. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Hey, if you haven't, please hit that like button. It's free and easy, but more importantly, if you like stuff like this, subscribe to the channel, check out some of my other videos. But before you do that, take care of yourself in whatever weird, gross way you do. Talk to you soon.